This is me, and these are all my memories, at least the ones I use to portray myself online. This is who I have crafted over the past 8 years I've been on Facebook, but today, this person dies. What do you want to achieve in your life? When you get to your last moments, what do you want to feel proud of? Will you end your story fulfilled, or will you abandon it at a loose end? In the end, all of our memories, experiences and feelings all come down to what we focused our attention onto. Some people devote their attention to practices of deep meditation, some to efforts of charity, and some to extraordinary missions of personal achievement. However, for most of us, our attention is fiberglass. Brittle and weak, and with just the slightest force of temptation, it can be shattered into finite fragments. For the next 20 minutes, I want to have your full attention. No opening another tab, replying to a message, or scrolling through an infinite timeline. If this sounds like a challenge to you, then this is the video for you. I've been on Facebook for 42% of my life, Instagram and Twitter for 26%, and 20% on Snapchat. These collections of pixels and code have hijacked my attention and wasted months of my life, but just like most people, I never questioned why I actually used them. However, today, December 1st, I'm going to begin an experiment. I'm going to quit all social media for an entire month, and after 31 days with no Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Messenger or Snapchat, I will evaluate whether or not the past 31 days would have been more fulfilling had I been on social media. And if the answer is no, I will quit the service permanently. Hello there. So it's currently the 2nd of December, my second day with no social media, and well, I'm not having sleeping problems, cold sweats or hallucinations. In fact, I'm feeling good. It's kind of given me a chance to reassess what I actually spend my time doing, and because of that, I feel a lot more clear-headed and on top of things. In fact, one of the things that scared me about quitting social media, and one of the reasons why I never did it before, was the fear of feeling isolated, lonely, and missing out on social events because, oh no, I didn't see that Make a Clay Chicken ages 3+ because I wasn't on Facebook. But last night, with the help of a bit of alcohol, I made some social situations for myself. I went down to the student accommodation near me in Bristol and just started chatting to strangers that were outside and got invited to a prees and had a good time. I would have never done that had I been on social media. I would have been too scared and just retreated to my phone. We are inherently social creatures, but modern life tends to isolate us instead of bringing us together. Studies show that if you spend over 2 hours a day on social media, then your chances of feeling socially isolated are twice as high. But if there is a network where almost a third of this entire planet go to every day, why are frequent social media users feeling isolated? It's because social media is restricting people's abilities to socialise in a non-virtual environment and is causing overusers to unlearn their valuable and natural social skills. Because these apps act as a convenient way for us to immediately escape the real world strifes of boredom, stale conversations and awkward moments, they are warping into crutches for the anxious and awkward that inhibit us from forming the relationships we desire with one another. And it's not like social media is primarily used for social activity. In fact, only 9% of time spent on social media is used as actually interacting with other people. Most of the time it's just spent passively absorbing information like, yep, Lad Bible still isn't funny, and BuzzFeed, and why are people still showing BuzzFeed videos, and what the fuck? Facebook, is this some sort of sick joke? Huh? Because I'm seeing my friend Slavic Xander, number 7, domestically trained pigeon, and Jack, and I'm sure as fuck I'm not there. The main cause of isolated feelings from social media comes from the fear of missing out. When you're scrolling through post after post of people having more fun than you currently are, it's easy to start asking questions like, why aren't I wearing a white polo / black dress in prison? Why aren't I sending my car into fucking space? Why do I even exist? But without social media, you can be blissfully unaware of the fact that your friends don't actually like you. I was able to go out that night and just talk to complete strangers because I felt freed from the insidious isolation that social media had caused. Without it, I didn't know what I was missing out on, so it felt like I wasn't missing out at all. The longest I've ever run in my life is a 10k. I haven't ran in 5 months and I just ran 22k. What the fuck? What? I ran a half marathon with no training. What? What? How? Tonight, I wanted to go on social media a bit more than I have done in the past 7 days. I don't work in the evenings. I like to fully recharge my focus for the next morning, but tonight I have this energy and I'm sat at my desk and I know I can't work, but I want to channel this energy into something. And at the moment, the most appealing option is the instant satisfaction I know I'll feel from going on social media. It's like I've lost the ability to just be bored. The human mind is not designed to be constantly stimulated, but social media allows it to be, and as a result, it is permanently destroying our ability to concentrate on tasks that require deep focus. How are you doing? Are you still paying attention? Do you find it hard to watch a whole film without checking your phone? What about when you're in a queue? Do you find yourself compulsively reaching into your pocket? I'll take your silence as guilty, but it's not all your fault. Social media is designed to be addictive. This may just look like a simple iPhone homepage to you, but there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. Which one did you look at first? Blue or red? Chances are it was red, and developers know it. They use red when they want your attention because it's a trigger colour. It's also why so many apps have redesigned their icons in favour of bright reds, even if it makes them look like a PowerPoint background that I used in year 6. Take a moment to think about what you're going to do next. Scroll down or scroll up. You might not think it, but you are going to automatically scroll up to refresh this page. That's because social media is designed to exploit the same psychological vulnerabilities that make slot machines so addictive. Variable rewards. We instinctively refresh because we don't know what we're going to be rewarded with. It might be a meme, a picture of a loved one, a meme, or more often than not, nothing of any interest at all. Just like most memes. Even the gesture of pulling down to refresh is intentionally identical to a slot machine lever because it gives the user an illusion of control. Pull to refresh hasn't been replaced by automatically refreshing timelines for the same reason that gambling would be much less addictive if you didn't pull the lever yourself. Okay, so now you're scrolling down. You're scrolling down and you're still scrolling down and boom! It's been 3 days and now your skin has to be surgically removed from the toilet seat. Infinite timelines. All social medias use them because developers know that humans rely more on visual cues than internal cues to stop consuming something. It's the same reason why YouTube and Netflix autoplay the next video and why you've never gotten hooked going through pages of Google search. But Instagram went one step further and implemented a non-chronological order to their infinite timeline. Now, despite most people thinking that the CEO of Instagram must have been on a Coke and Ket binge when he made this decision, by having a non-chronological timeline where you would have normally seen something you'd already seen before, Instagram can now throw in posts from however long ago to maintain your attention and keep you scrolling. All of Instagram's seemingly terrible decisions, from their PowerPoint redesign to the multiple times I must have looked like a stalker, were simply methods to steal more of your attention. Because that's all social media is. It's just the competition for your attention. But by being aware of how you're being manipulated, you can start to question how much attention social media really deserves. Amputees sometimes talk about a phantom limb experience where they can feel a limb still there that's been removed. Multiple times now, I've just unlocked my phone without thinking about it and my thumb's automatically gone to where Instagram normally is. That's just like computed in my subconscious. That's weird and probably slightly worrying. It's been 2 weeks now since not going on social media, and I don't see myself going back. My life is so much more enjoyable and fulfilling without it. I'm using the time that I would have spent aimlessly scrolling through Twitter or Instagram on stuff that actually has meaning. I'm focusing more on editing, and I can feel myself actually becoming a better person every day. I am just so much more happy without it, and I can feel it. When I'm at work, my colleagues always seem to be tired, but I'm literally at times skipping through my day, just happy and alive, and it's so good. I'm so I'm so happy.
What about you? I know it's unconventional for a documentary to have an element of audience participation in it, but I want you to use this next section as a mirror for you to truly reflect on where you actually use social media. Do you use it to connect with friends, as a source of endless entertainment, or as a platform to put yourself out there? All of these may be true, but I promise you, they're not all you're getting from social media. Social media is like selling your kidneys online or a conservative government. Granted, they have some benefits, but those benefits are substantially outweighed by the negative aspects that come with it. People use social media to create highlight reels of their own lives. You choose a selection of truths to portray who you are in a quest for social validation, and so does everyone else. So when your timeline starts to become an endless source of other people's talents, qualities and achievements, it can become very easy for you to compare your true self to their distorted perfection, which can lead to feelings of envy, self-doubt and depression. Bars. Research shows that heavy social media usage increases your risk of unhappiness by 56% and your risk of depression by 27%.
Social media used to cripple my confidence and make me feel inadequate to my friends. It made me forget that everyone had just as many flaws as I did, but chose not to publish them online because social media's ethics discouraged it. By quitting, I was finally able to rid myself of that background hum of anxiety that someone somewhere was doing something better than I was, and as a result, I was able to just focus on myself and be happy with what I had. And that was Christmas, and it made me realise that something I've gained from quitting social media is this new reconnect with my family that I didn't have before, which I think is a real curse of social media and being addicted to my phone. And I first realised it when I went to Bath Christmas Market on December the 2nd with my gran and grandpa, parents and Jess. And because I didn't have this need to go on my phone and check social media and see what my friends were doing, I was just able to appreciate what I had. And what I had was just my family for the day. And I genuinely think it was the first time that I truly valued spending time with them in living memory. But that was Christmas. And the month's almost up. I've got another 5 days of no social media before I can make the decision to go back to it or stay as I am. And I don't want to go back. Yeah. I want to stay disconnected.
At the beginning of this documentary, I asked for your full attention. Only you know if you truly gave me it. Were you uncomfortable having to focus on just one thing for 20 minutes, or did the temptation of checking your phone sneak into your head? This documentary has been a test of your attention, and as I said earlier, what you focus your attention on defines the quality of your life. If social media has left your attention fractured and weak, then it's time for a re-evaluation. Is what you're gaining from social media really worth it?
In the years to come, what the economy will value will be individuals who can create things with meaning that are difficult to replicate, not those with large online followings. Our brains are not designed to be constantly stimulated, which is why social media is so dangerous, as it allows just that. By being in a state of constant distraction, you are permanently degrading your ability to concentrate on tasks that require deep focus, which is exactly what society will value in the future, as it will be so rare. This is bad news for them, but good news for you. If you can take what I've said and apply it to your own life, you'll have an advantage against everyone else. You'll suddenly have more time to do things that actually have meaning and get way better at what you do. And also probably find yourself a lot happier, like I did.